MTN SME Hub. Link to growth. Link to success. Link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome back to the Big Small Business Show. In studio with us today, we've got Fabian Arends. He's the founder of Greenline Interiors, and we're talking about production systems. So let's take the conversation a little bit further. Now, let's talk about the individuals in your team. How, if there were two people doing the same thing, how would you know if somebody's fast and somebody's slow? How would you tell? If I came to work for you, how would you know if I told you I'm very good at this stuff, been doing it for 10 years? How would you know if I'm fast or slow?
So firstly, you'd be exposed by the team, because a lot of the team, we have worked through some guys that are slow.
Yeah.
And when we go to site, because it's high pressured, short deadlines, sometimes the team will come and report back to me to say, we having an issue with individual X.
Yeah.
Or when I'm physically on site and I know that you're a new person that's within the organization, I will then put you on an assignment and watch you carefully to make sure that you can do what you said you can do in the interview process.
And then when you're doing are you doing the costing?
Yes.
All right. So I come to you, I want something made. There's, I assume, some sort of sketch or drawing.
Yes.
You come back and you give me with measurements, and you give me and finishes, and you give me a price.
Yes.
Right. I'm summarizing it. So how do you calculate labor cost in that?
So for a lot of it is bespoke,
Yeah.
but a lot of it is things that we have done. So I started using Sage online.
Yeah.
And when I do new items onto the price list, I then go through the whole process of factoring in materials, labor, time of production, complexity of the item, and then I would then do a price on that.
Yes.
So I sort of would have a benchmark for a lot of normal products.
But how you, okay, so that's all right, but and it's 100% what you're doing. But let's take the labor. If I cost 15,000 Rand a month as a laborer, or 10,000, whatever I
Yes.
cost, how do you determine, and I was the only person building, are you taking my salary, dividing it by how many hours in a month? How are you determining what you're charging me out for? That's what I'm trying to ask.
So I've worked it out so I've looked at my monthly overheads.
Yeah.
And then I kind of said, okay, this is what it cost me to run my team per day.
Yes.
Skilled or unskilled, semi-skilled. Yeah. And then when I'm doing a job, I would sort of quantify, if this job's going to take me 3 days, I need to charge 3 days worth of running my team for that job. Okay. So I don't have like a definitive hourly rate, or it's not very refined. It's very unrefined.
Yes.
But more or less, if I know that job's going to take me three days, and it cost me X amount to run my team, it's X times 3.
Okay. And do you keep any stock of subcomponents? In other words, it's not raw material, because I'm sure you've got stock of some raw material, but do you have subcomponents that you can build for regular items? Because there must be, within all that you do, things that you do often.
Yes.
You keep stock of those subcomponents.
Yes, the bare necessities, because of color variance.
Yeah.
But yes, there are subcomponents, especially within the glass and aluminium work, and we do stock those.
Okay, so just to be clear, what you're doing is that you are fabricating it yourself and then putting it into stock. You're not buying in the subcomponent. That's what I mean. If you're bringing in a component, to me, that's raw material, it's coming in.
Yes.
I'm talking about then you would go and make something.
Yes.
And then put it back on the shelf.
No.
Okay, that's a subcomponent.
Okay.
That you're manufacturing a subcomponent.
I understood.
That's what you, and then you would use that as into building a product. So you're not doing that?
No, I'm not doing that.
Okay. Quality. How do you measure quality? Is that your eye? You walk around and say, there's a nick on there. start
Yes.
again.
So we do have, by the eye, we do tell the guys, I do explain to them that it's cheaper for us to fix something in the factory if they see a defect,
Yeah.
to rather do it before we get to site.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't have a QA process at the moment.
Okay, I want to go back to how you employ. So you spoke about the fact that your team will say, Fabian's slow. Okay,
Yes.
and if they work with him. Is that the only way you're picking up the speed of that individual?
Yes, it's because people have good CVs.
Yeah.
And some of those CVs are not true. It doesn't give you a true reflection of the sort of will of the person. It gives you a guesstimate of the experience,
Yeah.
what they can do. But our company culture is very different to where they've previously worked. So I don't have a better way of seeing what you can do unless I work physically with you on our sites.
It just can I, and you don't have to answer this question, you can say you're uncomfortable. Is cash flow a problem? Or is cash flow not a problem in the business?
It's at some seasons. So what I've picked up is from January, February, March, April, cash flow is a problem.
Is that a function of revenue, sales?
Yes, it is. So our last sale will probably come in first week in December. Okay. And then you kind of have no cash coming into the business from December up until end of February.
And what does your team do in that time?
So in that time, we usually, sometimes we have layover projects that we needed to still complete. But in the absence of that, we do very little big jobs. We're just doing small work. We're cleaning up the factory. We're doing maintenance on machines. And that's a big challenge because I don't like doing short time or putting the guys off.
Yeah.
So I'm still carrying the full load.
Yes.
So we kind of like hoping to stock up in in the busy times, have some cash reserves, and then that gets depleted by March, April, and then you kind of hope to push on again until the busy season kicks in.
All right, Fabian, I think I've got enough. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, I will have some things for Fabian to think about. Stay tuned.
MTN SME Hub, link to business success.